Okay, ready? First reading. Call this council regular session to order. Today is Wednesday, December 7th, at 7 p.m. Please join in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, let's just go ahead and do another little moment of silence for Pearl Harbor. All right. So that was a time in history which was before my time, but was definitely a big pivotal start to something that we never thought could happen, and it happened. The U.S. door Pearl Harbor. So yeah, very appropriate to remember. Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and open it up to visitor comments. If you have a comment, please come up and state your name for record and keep it to 3 minutes or less.
My name is Freddie Freeham. And I'm here to commend you on your selection for Jenny Carlson for the Planning Commission. I think her experience and knowledge of the city and how it operates, I think she'll make a great member. But you have to express my concern for appointing Charles Kasner. I sent all of you an email. Mr. Kasner and his wife. Basically, I was walking down the street and they made a false report. I was arrested. I have filed a lawsuit against them. I want to tell you the situation that any of you would be in when literally you have done nothing. You're literally walking down the street and minding your own business, and someone makes a false accusation against you and gets you arrested. And you're in this position where you have to defend yourself. And had there not been a video of the incident, I would be facing serious consequences, including jail time. For someone of that caliber to sit on your planning commission, to me, is unacceptable. Clearly, they have already admitted that they lied about the poll. They have already stated that. I sent you copies of that statement. But that doesn't make it okay. And it shouldn't make it okay for you to appoint someone like that to the planning commission. Integrity matters. And they specifically targeted me because they didn't like me because of my support for Halloween Town. And that's fine. We can disagree about Halloween Town, but it should not be acceptable to make up a story and make false accusations against anyone just because you politically disagree with them. And it is not the first time they've done that. They have done the same thing to your own tourism director when on an event that she helped organize for them, and then came here and lied about her participation and how she did that. So it's not the first time. I think that Mr. Walsh has had several conversations of similar character with them as well. And that's just not someone whose character belongs in the planning commission. Certainly, any decision the planning commission makes would be tainted by his actions being on that commission. And to me, it would affect the entire legitimacy of that commission. And I really believe that he is not the right choice. There were several other candidates that were qualified. It's not the first time that you would go against your recommendations from your planning commission, and this is the time that you should tell them that you need to go back and pick one of the other qualified candidates. There's at least 3, maybe 4, and certainly they could do a call if they didn't like any of the people that were there. They can ask for, another choice. But again, I would say that this person is just not suitable for the planning commission. And thank you.
Hey, we have anybody online?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Steve.
Hello, everyone.
Oh,
I'm remoting in, Steve Toskey, citizen of St. Helens, on the Planning Commission. I wanted to appear to give my endorsement to both Charles Kasner and Jeannie Carlson for selection to the Planning Commission. And I want to thank everybody who put their names in and were considered. The process is where all of the planning commissioners are encouraged to get people who thought that would be good for the Planning Commission to apply. And Brady was actually encouraged, along with many others, to apply and took the time to interview. I am not on the selection committee. I'm just part of the roundup, if you would. Jennifer Pugsley and Dan Carey and Russ Hubbard, I think, were the selection folks, along with Councilor Berkeley participated, and Jacob. As you know, the Planning Commission is trying to aid the council in becoming more proactive and getting involved in planning. Mr. Kasner is a licensed attorney in Oregon. He does work for Daimler Corporation, where he is engaged in negotiations with unions for the production of Freightliner trucks. He also supervises litigation involving employment litigation and complex litigation involving union matters nationwide. I've met Mr. Kasner in town. I've met his wife. And I think he'd be a great addition to the Planning Commission. Jeannie Carlson, I do not know her as well as Mr. Kasner. She was suggested by Dan Carey. I think you know that she is an ex-city council member. She is outspoken. She's an advocate. She definitely has the best interests of the citizens of St. Helens in her heart, and moves forward and allows that to guide her decisions and actions. Her children went to the St. Helens schools. She has a lot of perspective as far as the school system and the town in general. And I think both of them would be great additions to the Planning Commission. I understand that there are some issues that some people have. Brady's come up and said something. I'm not here to judge that situation. That's in a different arena. And I can tell you, I think that both of these candidates are very well qualified, and I would urge the council to move forward with appointing Jeannie Carlson and Charles Kasner to the Planning Commission. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Any other, I don't know if Deb wants to make a comment, or can you just listen it in? If so, you need to raise your hand and we will get to you. Okay.
So Brady, I don't recall getting an email from you. So
I did email the council directly to your city email address, and I copied I think Kathy on it. So I would expect that she would have forwarded it to you, but I did email every mayor and every council person directly, as well as Mr. Walsh.
thank you.
Okay. Go ahead and go on to our first item on the agenda, award bid contract. Emerald Motors for new public works department vehicle 2022 Chevy Silverado 1500 LTE four-wheel drive in the amount of $44,845.
I move we accept that we award the bid to Emerald Motors for the new Public Works Department vehicle in the amount of $44,845.
second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to award bid contract. Any discussion?
Yes, I assume we had somebody on staff look at this like Mohammed, is that correct? Or did this go just to Dawn?
No, this is a state bid kind of contract.
Okay.
And I wanted to point out that there was actually 2 vehicles budgeted this year. We're only moving requesting. One of them is to have an abundance of caution with risk. What's going on with the budget, so we wanted to proceed cautiously.
The cost of vehicles right now is crazy.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, I have a motion that's been made and seconded to award bid contract to Emirates Motors for new public works truck in the amount of $44,845. Councilor President Morton.
Aye.
Councilor Lopez.
Aye.
Councilor Shelton.
Aye.
Councilor Berkeley.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. Okay, Council President asked me to do these separately, so I think that's a great idea. Appointment to the boards of commissions to appoint Jenny Carlson to the planning commission.
I move we appoint Jenny Carlson to the planning commission.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to appoint Jenny Carlson to the planning commission. President Morton.
Aye.
Councilor Lopez.
Aye.
Councilor Chilton.
Aye.
Councilor Berkeley.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. Appointment to city boards and commissions, Charles Kastner to the planning commission.
We appoint Charles Kastner to the planning commission.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve Charles Kastner to appointed to the planning commission. Discussion?
Yeah, just so far as I recall, and with Commissioner Toski's testimony that it was unanimous recommendation by the members of the planning commission. And so that's why I am supporting that. I don't have personal knowledge about the ongoing issue. I'm sorry that there is a situation going on, but I don't see a reason to not appoint Mr. Kastner.
Knowing the incident that happened with Brady on that sidewalk street right over here by almost across the area where the loop comes out here, it's about a block up, a half a block up. It's quite an incident and it caused quite a stir. And I thought it was pretty much a stain on the citizens who falsely accused a citizen of doing something. Not only that, he got accosted physically. It wasn't right. And I cannot cast a vote for someone who has a temper like that. It's not right. So that's the way I feel.
I don't believe that I have enough evidence to veto something like that, and I don't believe this is the right arena. As Steve pointed out for that, so if he were to act unprofessional on the commission, I think that would be a different ballgame.
I'm not trying to convince anyone, I'm just
Personal
trying to clarify my vote.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
Wasn't there?
Yeah.
I'm just hearing everybody's thoughts.
Well, I kind of agree, I'm leaning towards what Doug had to say about, I don't agree with, you falsely accusing somebody of, because clearly on video, I'm not a judge, but, I do have eyeballs and I watched the same video that we all seen. And, it's clear that, it was not a physical assault by Brady. And that was what was he went to jail for. The police were called. It was a misuse of police force, in my opinion. It is in our wheelhouse, so I'm gonna agree with Jessica on that. So I'm kind of torn of a couple different ways, because I know Charles, we all can make mistakes, and he has been involved in the city for a long time and been around. So I'm, it is a different wheelhouse. It is a completely different wheelhouse. But I don't think, I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't feel Brady is wrong in showing up here today to give testimony about what way he feels and the way he's perceived the things that happened. And so I appreciate you showing up and voicing your your concerns. I'm gonna call it to a vote. Council President Morton.
Nay, simply, very simple terms, because I know of the incident personally and another clarification is this is the first time in my 16 years that I've gone against any motion of the planning commission that I know of. And to me, it's that big an issue of someone acting out on our streets. And yeah, it's tough for me to say this, but I'm a definite no.
And I want to clarify, I had a motion for appointments, because we have went against them for motions they've made. That have been kicked to us. That have been appealed to us.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, yeah. All right, yes. I knew what you were trying to say. Councilor Topaz. I'm an aye. Yes. Councilor
Aye.
Tobin.
Aye.
Councilor Berkeley. I'm an aye as well, just because I think integrity goes a long ways in this world. And you should have it. But yeah, it passes and all right, so now we're gonna go on to consent agenda for acceptance. Number 3, planning commission minutes dated October 11th, 2022. 4, library board minutes dated October 10th, 2022.
I move we accept the consent agenda, items number 3 and 4.
Second,
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve consent agenda acceptance 3 and 4. Council President Morton.
aye.
Councilor Topaz.
Aye.
Councilor Chilton.
Aye.
Councilor Berkeley.
Aye.
Yeah, I'm an aye as well. Consent agenda for approval of 5, accounts payable bill list.
Move we approve the consent agenda, accounts billable pay list as read.
Second,
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve accounts payable bill list. Council President Morton.
aye.
Councilor Topaz.
Aye.
Councilor Chilton.
Aye.
Councilor Berkeley.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. We'll open that up and
Oh,
I'm gonna ask Doug to read a motion from earlier, which is about to come from our work session action item. It's that little part right here.
what's your address that we're moving this to?
That's
That's me, I think.
I'll be glad to do this one.
Until we got a few.
Work section, action items. Move to deny animal facility license at 602 Ridgeway Loop.
So moved.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to deny animal facility license at 60002 Ridgeway Loop. Council President Morton.
Aye.
Councilor Topaz.
Aye.
Councilor Chilton.
Aye.
Councilor Berkeley.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. Okay, council member reports. Let's go on with Council President Morton.
Whoa, take a look down at our Dalton Lake Preserve. If you can get down there and see the new $1 million upgrade of Dalton Lake for our salmon smolts that use that Dalton Lake pond for a holding area before they go out to the river. So that's what that's all about. Reports are that from Sobey Island, from Portland, all along Sobey Island, down to Camp Lama area is where 90-some% of the smolts originate from and hole up on their way down the river. So they need holding ponds, and that's what that's all about with Bonneville footing the bill as a grant to accomplish that. I hopefully it works. It's good research. Nobody knows if it's gonna work or not. We'll figure it out. We got a bridge out of it and a nice walking path. So it's a beautiful area and wonderful. That's my report. Dalton Lake Nature Preserve has been preserved again.
So we got a nice bridge going over. it.
Beautiful.
Cool.
It is very nicely done.
Yeah, excellent. All right. Thanks, Doug.
Hope it all works.
Thanks.
What's happening for you?
Yeah, Councilor Topaz.
I've got a couple of things. The library board is now updating its long-range plans. Rachel is involved in that. And a great deal of that is involved in how do we reach more people? Realizing there are communities that, to a great extent, historically, we've just not looked at. And by history or their history, they wouldn't be involved in the library. Also, the libraries are changing rather drastically. It's no longer just books on shelves. And getting the word out to not only the seniors, but children, preschool children. This is what a library has. So that's ongoing now. I had a complaint by a citizen who almost hit somebody in the road. The location is Gable Road, early in the morning when the workers are parking over the lot of Walmart and crossing the street to the construction. There's not a whole lot of lights there. And typically, it's a confused area. They were hoping that somehow there could be better illumination. It's a mid-block situation, construction situation. But it is a certain amount of road danger. Now, I have some, I'm going to call them contract issues. I'm going to talk about a number of contracts. I'm going to make a point at the end. Some of the details are not particularly important. It's the end situation that I'm trying to get to. Mo Forster, a number of years ago at the Meriwether Center, first presented a waterfront plan. And the discussion was no comments from the audience, which people commented anyway. But while the presentation was supposed to be the waterfront, a side item that appeared was the waste collection in the lagoon. And the person who was managing that particular segment kept iterating, no liquefaction, no liquefaction, no liquefaction. Which seemed to be out of place at a waterfront while they were talking about that, but it was an introduction into the city's genre about this. The framework plan again had another Mo Forster presentation. Again, the statement, there's no comments from the community, we're just giving you a report. That also was commented on. People didn't listen to that. Now, the geo investigation of the lagoon says you can't build on it because something's happening underground. That isn't the front. Again, this is Mo Forster's own work. Okay, next contract comment on the grow facility. In February of 2018, Matt Brown, John's assistant, made a presentation to the community about the marijuana grow facility going on the property. Points that were made, this was a Lynn lease. They had 10 months of no payment, no down payment. And they had told us that the city was not liable, even though we were the renter for this marijuana place. Halfway through the year, there became a lawsuit that said this is a problem, and this Lynn lease, or lease to buy, I should say, contract got changed to a purchase contract. Now, this happens in 2019. 2019, January, the night I was inducted into the city council, it was reported that the grow facility by Keith Locke had its first crop had just come in. Okay, now the council was given a number of times to overlook and comment on the contract that was being rewritten. And it was a 10 or 12 page pile of paper that was handed out and taken back, and typical legal stuff was quite complicated. And at times their attorney or the attorney for this was on vacation, so it got extended. So the council came up with a idea that John Walsh or the mayor, and this is a resolution, by the way, should do the analysis of the sale, be the people who would be in charge of selling it, rather than having to come through the council and all this long harass. Being able to look at the whole contract. So it was left to John and Matt, John and the mayor to take care of that. Now, the question I have on that is this resolution still in power? As you know, there's been some other complications with the mill property sale. And so I don't know whether John and the mayor can sell anything on the mill, or is it only on the business? I don't remember enough of the details of that resolution. Anyway, that's something just to be looked at. Now, on the mill property, there's a salvage operation going on, and I assume we have a
Do you
contract
have
with
that
our
resolution
comfort.
number? What? Do you have that resolution number?
No, I'll have to get it. It's 18 something, which isn't very helpful. Now, Mark Comfort is supposedly salvaging parts of the mill, and I don't know what the actual contract is. That's up to John, but there's never been a report of how much he's taken out, what he's paid us, or anything like that. Now, I was in the beginning of 2019 with Rachel, going on a mill tour, and Rachel and I, it was headed up by the head of the mill there. And at one point, the director said, you know, Mark Comfort's ripping stuff out of here, and he's leaving things as a mess. If OSHA comes in, they're not going to define where our problem is and where their problem is, and they could close us down on OSHA requirements. He said, I've talked to John, and I'm telling you, when Rachel said she passed it on. And after that, we had an incident where Comfort removed some wire and some other things that led to a lawsuit. And that's kind of been taken care of, but it was a major lawsuit. Again, we're back to a stain on the city of St. Helens. Now, going to the next contract having to do with the reservoir repair, I asked Matt Brown what the costs were at that time, and he refused to answer. In fact, he passed it off to Sue Nelson. Next meeting, he had a 4-page commentary why Topaz was wrong. And he, in fact, even forwarded that to the ethics board. But as we know, the reservoirs had a whole bunch of problems. One of the things that I'm wondering about is we contracted an inspector, and I've talked to some developers. They say, if something went up and you had a contracted bonded inspector, they should cover all the costs. And the question is, how good was that contract? Matt Brown obviously should have known that. Okay. We've had other engineering problems. Godfrey Park, the addition of $1 million because they didn't complete the information needed to correctly ram the pipe through. They ran into some obstacles at the end. Now, next contract, we had the Illuminite contract with tourism, supposedly bringing this here. COVID got into it. There was some funny numbers on transportation. If you look up the federal transportation tons per mile, and because it's interstate, across state lines, some numbers didn't match, and there was nothing in the contract about who was paying for the unloading of the trucks when the equipment got here. Basically, another contract problem. We paid $72,000 to hold our place in line, and that is going by the board because it's across the state lines, and our attorney said you're not going to be able to recover it at a reasonable price. Then we have the aluminum ferry, the Coast Guard inspection business. That was supposed to be here in July, and I don't know how that's going. Now, the one common thing about all of this, these contracts didn't go along very well. Good, bad, or indifferent, but they were a big problem. And as I look at this, the one person who's been in charge of all this is John Wolf. He wasn't the detail man, but he's where the buck stops, according to Harry Truman. And with that many things going wrong at the levels they are, we're talking a number of millions of dollars here. I'd almost recommend, in fact, I will recommend that the coming council consider asking John Walls for resignation, because we've lost an awful lot of money out of different departments that he oversaw not correctly doing the job. Now, my last item, which should have been done a long time ago, I should have done it. Gentlemen don't wear hats in the house. And I'm talking to you, Rick, about this. You're the face of St. Helens into a great part of the world. People wearing hats inside the house are not civilized. It's a personal opinion. In most places, it's no problem. But this is a public forum and you do represent St. Helens, and I truly wish you would not wear your hat in the house. Thank you.
No problem.
I know. I don't want that stated.
Thank you, Counselor Topaz. Counselor Shelton.
Well, I have a lot less to share, so, I don't really have much to share. We're still waiting to hire the police officer. Everything's backed way out. His boot camp start date is, June of 2023. So you know how that goes. So we're waiting for that. In my personal life, I have changed careers. I'm now the director of sales for Avamere here in St. Helens. So I'm happy that I get to remain in the community and work in the community and continue to be a part of the community in my everyday life. But I think it was a time for some changes with my career. So I'm excited about it. So far, I feel like I've fit in pretty well with it. And London is now 4 months, in case anybody's been wondering. I was literally holding her before I came, and I was like, oh, I wish I could bring her in here with me. I was like, maybe Kathy would just hold her the whole time or something. I will bring her in one of these times. I'm just nervous because I don't have anyone else here, and you know, I'm the mom, so they're like my job. So, but she's really cute, so I need to find time to bring her down here. You want to be the baby holder? She would love to come and see you guys, but that's all I got. I don't have much, so I'm excited for the holiday.
One comment on the policeman, the police academy is trying to hire more instructors. They're hard up for instructors.
There's a really big blog too for COVID.
But they're trying to improve their staff. And they're having a hard time getting more instructors. So it's up and down the line. It isn't just a single point.
I actually think that during the work session, there was an individual sitting in the back there with Officer Coy. I think that was the new officer.
Yes.
Because I was like, he looks familiar, and I think that was him. So he's definitely eager to get on the job, but
He will be on the job.
Yeah.
He won't go to the academy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
but he can't do all the things, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
But
Can start
yeah, one of these times we'll have to make him come forward and.
He's gonna be on the December 21st for introduction.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
perfect. Look at that. I'm getting ahead of myself. I thought that was him. I was like, that looks like him. So. Okay. All right, I'm done. That's all I got.
Counselor Berkeley.
Also not much on the third grade classes at Columbia City are doing their part to help Mayor Scholl and us to land the big one. The three elementary schools in St. Helens have been participating in the eggs to fry, salmon eggs to fry program. So in each of the schools had received 200 coho eggs. And at Columbia City, we are going to be releasing our couple of hundred off of Pixie Park. I understand there's a high mortality rate, but we've done our part. We've only lost about two of the eggs. Anyway, so yeah, so we're doing our part, and also maybe some of them will end up seeking shelter in the new little estuary area.
You were gonna say.
I raised that possibility, but it said the eggs come from ODFW, and there are only certain designated waterways you can put it in, so that little channel is not yet or whatever designated. Anyhow, we're doing that, and then I'm doing a little citizen science project with OSU. And I imagine a number of other people, I don't know how many in the community are doing OSU is doing a passive air sampling of air in St. Helens and McNulty district, and citizens, I think, can still maybe sign up for it, wearing a little wristband for 4 weeks on 4 separate week-long occasions in the coming year. And also putting up a home passive air collection monitor that can be put in the backyard, which we installed. Pretty simple. If I could figure out how to hook it up. Anyway, so I'm gonna try to find out more exactly what OSU is trying to find out about, but it's from their School of Food Science and Environment. So citizen science at work.
Thank you.
Get a $50 gift card for participating.
Oh, that's
It's not totally obvious.
Be ready to answer some questions if you're supporting research in prostate cancer, because those are blue armbands as well.
Oh,
That prostate cancer individuals are wearing.
all right.
If you ever see them around.
I see. Okay, but they're,
I know Keith Locke was always instrumental about wearing this color of bracelets.
Any other? All right.
no,
I would definitely try to get them into that estuary if you can. They probably have a little bit better rate. Probably a few will return though. That's
Yeah.
great. So,
yeah.
but also, my report, we will be putting out the Fire Mayor contestant information here real soon. So that's coming up soon. So we'll pass that along to your students. That was the first. We're gonna get a jump start on it this year. Public Works, you can see what's going on downtown here in the parking lot, the old mill property. We've kind of reversed the project to kind of not just be disruptive for the Christmas time, and it's just a good place to start. And working with the contractor, there's a little shift in focus there, and it seems to work, and it's working well, and stuff's happening down there. So that's moving right along. This Saturday is Christmas ships. Come on out. Gonna be a good time. Santa Claus will be here at 6 o'clock. Christmas ship, 6 o'clock. It's all happening at 6 o'clock. Come a little early though, 5 o'clock. It's hot cocoa, listen to some music, and get a good place to watch Christmas ships. It's always a great time. It's our one day event that we do down here. That's a lot going on. So I'm sure there'll be other costumes, probably from, I think, did we have some people dressed up last year other than McBella and
There's a Mrs. Claus and a Grinch running around town. Maybe they'll make an appearance.
yeah. So, and then, yeah, so that's going on. And, I just want to give kudos to John. I know that you didn't get a very good report from an outgoing counselor, and if the worst thing I do by offending people is wearing a hat, I guess I'm doing okay. So thank you for your opinion though.
Okay.
It's I do work for all citizens, including you. Yeah. I'm non-biased.
Well, as I
Yeah,
say,
so I appreciate it and I took it to heart, but
that's been passed on to me.
I'm sure probably the Olivers. I know my fans. And I know your fans, so that's the thing about a small town, but I do work for all citizens, and what I can say is everybody, we're gonna be here the 21st. It doesn't have to be that long of a meeting if we so choose. But we have to ask because we were postponed our search for our financial director, which I think is the right thing to do. I really do. It's a big position, and it was recommended by our church people that we wait just a little bit longer, keep it open a little longer. So, yeah. So we'll see you guys on the 21st. But those listening in, if they are listening, watching, have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And with that, we are adjourned.
Good. Is it a record?
Nope, it's not a record.